Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Here, this is apologize for that. This is Dark Knight Studios coming at you with a new video. And this is going to be, I'm going to try to make this as short as I can, but this is going to be a food review for a place that my dad and I ate at Saturday afternoon, so about 2 days ago, that we had never eaten at before and we've never really tried. And it was a restaurant that served German and American food. Apparently, I guess I learned some history about our family is that long time ago, maybe like in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, I think is what I was getting. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fact check me on that. I'm not 100% sure. Apparently, somebody in our family ran a German-American restaurant back then with food that apparently was pretty popular. And I think until they eventually wound up closing down. I forget what it was called. I think it was, he said it was called Gundy's. Gundy''S. But apparently it was a popular place. So I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, I didn't know someone in our family owned and ran a German-American restaurant. That is so cool. Because I didn't know that. I guess maybe on my dad's side of the family, maybe there's a little bit of German in me. I was like, I didn't know that. But I'm not trying to talk up Germans like, they're awesome people. I mean, I know some of the history that happened with Germany, so, but I'm just saying this place is called Gerst House. Gersthouse. Obviously a space in between those two words. And they serve German food and they serve American food. And so the dish I got was called a 3-sausage combo with 2 sides. And you got 2 big slices of rye bread and butter. And it was like $26.50. And you know that you're like, for sausages and 2 sides? Like, let me tell you. This was genuine, authentic, made from scratch sausages that you could tell. You could tell it was not like store-bought. You could tell like it was made from scratch. And the waiter told us that the ice cream, which we'll get to dessert later. I'll tell you what I had for dessert that I shared, that me and my dad shared. But they bought it across the street. Like they try to buy their stuff local, which is awesome. That's so incredible that they do that. But I had kielbasa, a piece of kielbasa sausage, a piece of bratwurst sausage, and something called knockwurst, which you think is spelled K-N-O-C-K, but it's actually K-N-A-C-K-W-U-R-S-T. And the bratwurst was a big piece of bratwurst. Like, it wasn't like what you get in the store. This was like probably a little under twice as long as like the bratwurst you get in the store. And the knockwurst, I've never had it, but man, I tell you, it tasted like a mix between kielbasa and or as some people call it, Polish sausage. It tasted like a mixture, like between the kielbasa and the brat. It tasted like a mix in between. I had never had it. Absolutely delicious. Highly recommend the place. Again, it's in Evansville, Indiana. Gerst House. Look it up on Google, online, whatever. G-E-R-S-T. A space in between H-O-U-S-E. And look up their menu. And you can look up their menu. You show their menu below, and it will even show you their address, where they're located. And like I said, they have German food, so they have schnitzel. My dad had something called Schweinschnitzel, or swine, which is pig, as most people know. And it was basically like a pork loin that was, like they pounded it out, like kind of flattened it, rolled it in like some breadcrumbs or something, and pan fried it. And then he had some baked beans and some authentic, made from scratch mashed potatoes that still had chunks of potatoes in there. I took a bite, and you could tell, these were real. These were not instant. And then I had, with those sausages, I had my 2 sides were cornbread cakes, which looked like little pancakes, but it was cornbread, and you didn't need any syrup on there. Like, you could taste the sweetness in the cake from the cornbread itself. It was delicious. The applesauce was sweet and tart and tangy, more on the sour, tangy, tart side. And it had chunks of apple in there, so you could tell this was not like the normal straight up smooth type applesauce you get. This was real and authentic. So if you ever want a chance to try some German food, I highly recommend the place. It looks like an old building. It is an old building, but from the outside it looks pretty. It looks fairly fancy, actually. And if you want to try German food because you've never tried it, they also have American stuff like fried oysters, fried catfish, bacon cheeseburgers, steak, ribs. You know, they have something else I almost got close to trying, slow roasted chicken. That sounded delicious, and I was so torn on what I wanted to eat. And as far as sweet tea goes, oh man, sweet tea was delicious. So I highly recommend this place. I don't remember the waiter's name. I am so sorry for that, but the guy was an absolute star. Kept coming to check on us, see if we needed more to drink, to just see if we were enjoying the food, just see how we were doing. So a shout out to him, the guy. They're very good at, making sure you're doing okay, making sure, do you need more to drink? Do you want dessert? And that takes us to the dessert, apple strudel with ice cream on top. My dad and I shared it. I had just enough room for dessert. That's why I didn't get an appetizer, because I knew if I got an appetizer plus my main meal, I would be too full to try some apple strudel, because I wanted dessert. It was good. And the ice cream on top, I immediately could tell. I told my dad, I said, this is not vanilla ice cream. I think this is like French vanilla or something. And we asked the waiter, is this French vanilla ice cream? Sure enough, he confirmed it was. And that's when he told us, yeah, they buy it kind of like from across the street because they wanted to buy local, which was just even more awesome to hear, that they want to stay local and buy stuff from local places. And I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you would. And hey, if you've eaten there or you want to eat there, comment down below this video and let me know. I would really like to know. I would really like to have you guys try it out and let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye.